wow, the new PlayStation 5 version of Final Fantasy VII is out, and I have to put a photosensitivity warning on the video now. There's way more frames in the game, but also there's more flashing in the game now, and it might be bad for people who may be sensitive to very quick screen flashes. So if you are sensitive to that, please watch out. Basically anytime there's combat happening in this video, that's where it's going to be.
I'm sensitive to family photos. It's a lot of memories.
Oh,
yeah.
Brings up a lot, huh? So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is out. For some reason, it still just says Final Fantasy VII Remake when you put the game in. It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I have a PS5. I got incredibly lucky. I have one of the 3 that were made. So yeah, the new version of this game that runs on PS5, it's a free upgrade for people who already had the game. It does this really awful thing that all like PS4 to PS5 upgrades do. It's like, you already have the save file from your PS4 game on the console, so you should just be able to load it up in the new version of the game, right?
One would think.
No. The PS4 version has to be on the hard drive of your PlayStation 5 installed, and you have to, in the patch version of the PS4 game, upload that game's save data to the cloud, and then with the PS4 version game still installed, go to the PS5 version and download your save data from the cloud. What the fuck is this? I hate it. It's so dumb.
Hey.
There's DLC too. We're not getting to that.
Moggy's greatest enemy is here.
Some fucking competition. We won't be getting to the DLC story stuff in this episode. It's going to be a little bit because I'm still playing through hard mode and learning stuff in that game. But we are going to check out the New Game Plus hard mode stuff that happens after you beat the game.
Yeah.
So after you beat the game and the credits roll and everything, it just kicks you to this menu here. And it brings up new tutorials about like what you can do after you beat the game. So it unlocks hard mode. Hard mode can only be played New Game Plus. You can never do a new file on hard because everything is... the difficulty is built and tuned around you having end game stuff.
I love the holes in that wall around Midgar. Like the whole city has materia slots.
Oh, yeah.
Just need really big materia.
Yeah. After you beat the game, it also shows you like all of this stuff if you want to go like really crazy with completion stuff.
You missed 2 intel reports. Damn.
Uh-huh. Right?
You missed 5 enemy scans. What? What?
Well,
what is this?
There are new enemies on hard mode that I couldn't scan.
That makes sense.
The pre-order summons are free to download for everybody now, along with all the Butterfinger equipment.
Yes.
So now we can claim all of our sweet Butterfinger merch, all of our Butterfinger gear. God, I can't believe it was tied in with Butterfinger. And Final Fantasy XIV is tied in with Butterfinger now too. There's a special Butterfinger themed mount you can get from the candy bars.
Should have went with Slim Jim.
Yeah. But yeah, now that you've beaten the game, you can just start from any chapter in the game and choose difficulty from there and jump around. On the right side of every chapter, it helps you keep track of collectibles. So I got all of the records the first time, so there's just zeros by all the chapters for that. But on hard mode, every chapter has that little book icon there. Those are extra skill point manuscripts that you can only get on hard mode. Yeah. So we're going to start a new run on hard mode.
So this will be another 39 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be skipping around just to show like some of the new stuff. And then once we reach a certain point, we will be seeing the new hard mode exclusive boss fights. Something weird here. I'm playing the whole intro to the game, the CG part, because weird thing... The visual, they didn't re-render the movie for the PS5 version, but the music is different. I don't know why. It's like the same song, but it's a new arrangement of it. All the grunts left in. I saw some people when this came out going like, I think they added more grunts to the game, but it's just, no, there were just a lot in the original.
So many grunts.
It's just a lot of grunts.
I would love to see what the union contract says about what a grunt is.
Oh my god.
And how many grunts, like, make a line or whatever.
So, as far as I know, working at Volition, you can get away with non-union if you're not saying words, like grunts and screams and stuff like that, A-okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because there have been times in previous games, I think at Volition, where there were some NPCs like screaming that were on fire that were just employees. This game does have 2 different graphics modes as usual for next-gen stuff. There's graphics and performance. Graphics is 30 frames a second and way higher resolution. I don't own a 4K TV, and I don't have the equipment to capture in 4K, so I'm not doing that. We're just staying with the 60 frames a second. So this is where the photosensitivity stuff's going to come in once we start fighting stuff. But yeah, once you start hard mode, you keep all of the equipment, all your levels, all of your materia, everything is carried over.
You're just full of them orbs, all orbed up.
The Butterfinger equipment is not very good now. It's great for the start of the game.
Right, like the summons.
Yeah. All 3 of the different armlets and bangles here are pretty good for the first couple hours of the game, and then you eventually outpace them. The accessories, on the other hand, are still pretty useful. We've got the Superstar Belt. If you wear it, it keeps you from dying once per battle, and it never breaks like the earrings do. And the Mako Crystal, well, not as useful as the Superstar Belt. Just reduces damage from all 4 element types, which you can never get that much protection from the elemental materia.
When you were grabbing it from the menu, I thought it might have been a materia.
Yeah.
You're coming with us.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
So there's like some little tweaks to combat, just base mechanics.
Look at how far they fly.
So one of the big like new graphical additions, which we'll see more later, is like proper volumetric fog that's like colored by light sources. And at first it feels like a gimmick, but it looks really nice in some scenes.
Cloud could sneeze on these guys and they would die at this stage.
Yeah. Big difference about hard mode. You cannot use items in or out of battle. No items allowed. Final destination only in hard mode. And this significantly changes how you deal with stuff in this game, because suddenly everything's... Stuff like chakra and the prey materia that heal you without using MP suddenly become really important.
Yeah.
Anything that can mitigate damage, really important, like the steadfast block materia. Also, because this is the Intergrade update, we've got photo mode.
Yes.
Yeah. Photo mode in this is decent. There are games like Insomniac's photo mode and Spider-Man the new Ratchet & Clank are a lot more robust than this one. I'm also super used to using the capture tools I have in-engine at work. So when I don't have the free reign of actual developer tools, anything feels super limited to me.
How does it compare to the Mario Odyssey photo mode?
Mario Odyssey is a little better.
Okay.
My main issues with there's an assload of different LUTs filters.
Yeah, but
least,
none of them
nice.
turn anybody into coins or whatever.
Yeah, there's none of that, unfortunately. No cool filters. My main issue with photo mode is there's no control over depth of field, either near or far depth of field. You can't control the aperture. And the to prevent like clipping into objects or clipping through the game world, the camera is chained to your player character very tightly. You cannot move it very far away from them, which prevents framing up certain shots I want. And the photo mode doesn't let you get the camera super low to the ground, which kind of sucks because there's a lot of shots in this that would look really cool if you could get low to the ground and then aim up. You can't do too much of that usually, which is a bit of a shame, but it's still photo mode. You can hit pause at any point in this game and something cool is happening, so
yeah.
It's still really nice to have.
It's
You can
the
still
only
get some
way
cool
anyone
stuff.
will actually get to see all these particle effects.
Yeah.
Instead of them just like washing over you and lodging in your subconscious.
Yeah. There is something that sticks out a bit to me. Also, I have so many potions I can't even fucking pick them up. This is something that bothers me about hard mode.
What are you gonna do with them? You can't use them.
There's something that bothers me about hard mode. You can still pick up items, but you cannot use them. It's weird. Breaking crates is still very important though because it restores MP, and in hard mode, now when you sit down at rest benches to heal you, it only restores your HP to full, and it doesn't restore your MP at all.
Whoa, okay. This is rude. This is rude.
And you can't use MP restoring items, which means previously things that were kind of nice to have that weren't super important, like MP boosting materia, weapons that have the passive upgrades to increase how fast your MP regenerates. Those things become really handy and super important too, because like every chapter now, like there's certain points in chapters of the story where your health and MP gets regenerated anyways, but now you kind of have to be really economical with your MP, and it's a lot more of like an endurance through a chapter, like an endurance match, kind of like dungeons in older Final Fantasy games where individual fights weren't too hard, but lasting through all of them was the hard part. The animation for going into upgrades now is new. It's different.
Ooh,
I don't know why they changed it, but it's new and different now. So, you know, we still have a lot of upgrades left to get. I'm upgrading Cloud's Mithril Saber because he needs to be good with magic for this upcoming boss fight.
And also, Chadley is 47 years old now. Nobody saw that coming.
Oh my God, Chadley grew up.
Hello, Mr. Cloud. Yeah.
Cloud, I am Chadley. I had a huge growth spurt. I am 9 feet tall.
The whispers were holding me back, Mr. Cloud. They feared my power, as right they should.
The planet fears my power to alter fate. So yeah, stuff like the prayer materia is super important now because it's a group heal that costs no MP. Although having the actual healing materia is still useful sometimes just because it only needs 1 ATB and sometimes you're really close to dying and you can't wait to get 2 gauge. The HP absorption materia also real good. Another way to heal yourself. But, and something else I learned, the HP absorb materia, if you link magic to it, the magic that actually absorbs HP is only what you currently have available on the materia. It's weird. So like if you do a weird combination where you have 2 fire materia, one linked to magnify and one linked to HP absorb, so that like you hit 3 guys and you absorb health from all of them. If you only have 1 really good fire materia, and so you take like a level 1 fire materia on the HP absorb, only the level 1 fire spell will actually absorb health from you. I never knew this until just now as I was recording this footage. Barrett is using the EKG cannon. He has both look-up materials on him because that's the critical hit weapon. But yeah, hard mode is fucking rough at times. Like the Shinra soldiers at the start, right at the start, feel like, oh, these guys are basically just as weak as they were at the start. And then once you get to chapter 2, where you're fighting way more of them at once, it turns into a nightmare. Because their bullets just chew through you even when you're blocking. So yeah, everything has leveled up accordingly. Everything, like the first boss of the game has almost as much HP as Sephiroth did at the end of normal mode. Another hard mode difference, you're forced to pick 20 minutes for the bomb timer.
Oh, this is railroading. That's rude.
Pretty cocky.
Man, their early game dynamic is going to be so weird.
I know, right?
Oh no.
They're all pissing at each other.
but not in the friendly way.
Yeah.
They actually mean it now.
Yeah.
It's got reinforced armor plating.
So here's the cool thing about hard mode for me. All of the boss fights have been changed a little bit. The behavior of boss fights in hard mode has been altered. They use moves differently or earlier in their phases now. And the tutorial for hard mode doesn't tell you this.
Well,
also, we never got to.
Why would it?
Yeah, we never got to scan the Sentinel the first time around because we didn't even have that materia at the start.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's got some electric base moves, which is why Barrett has the elemental lightning materia paired up in his armor instead of attack. So one of the things with hard mode is everyone right now is at weapon level 5, and when you're looking at the at your character's weapon levels, it looks like 5 is the final level, but there's actually a level 6 that you'll almost definitely not hit until you're on hard mode. The level cap in this game, everyone's at level 40 right now. The level cap in this game is 50. The amount of skill points you get for hitting level 50 is not the amount of skill points you need to fully upgrade everyone's weapons. Which is why, when you go through hard mode, all the bosses and mini-bosses and some other things throughout hard mode will award you extra skill point books, and that's what gets you to actually maxing out your weapons.
Right.
Never seen this defense system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
So yeah, the photosensitivity thing I put up is because maybe some people notice it, maybe some people haven't. It's specifically with Cloud's basic attacks. Like, when you strike enemies, there's like a flash of light, but it's way more intense in the Intergrade version for some reason, to the point that it's almost a full screen, 1 frame long flash at 60 frames a second, so that might be bad for some people. I kind of hope that they tweak that. Like, it really bothered me at first. I got used to it. I still would like the intensity to be less, if possible.
Dear Square Enix, I would like the intensity to be less. This is very
less
intense.
intensity. I just want a slider that just says intensity.
I would like a little more Stardew Valley in my Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, please.
So, one of the first changes to the Scorpion on hard mode is it starts using that overkill move on its second phase. In the original fight, it saved that for the last minute of its fight.
It wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy.
Don't compliment the giant scorpion.
It's also its shield is a lot harder to take down. Just its butt weak point has a lot more health.
Well, it's been to the doctor. You gotta cream for that.
Oh man.
Now, hit it hard and fast.
Oh, you're in for it now.
Just shoot.
There, use your limit break.
Yeah. Some of the other little tweaks they've made to combat that I've found so far is, at least with Cloud, not so much with Barrett, it seems, you can cancel out of your animations a little bit sooner into a dodge roll now.
Okay.
Things just feel slightly snappier than they did before. And one thing that's super noticeable is everyone's animation to getting into guard stance is 5 times faster. You can guard way quicker now. I didn't really think it was much of an issue before, but there was a little bit of lag when you hit guard and it actually being the guard stance. And it's just instant now, basically, across the board for everybody.
Everything's just so smooth.
Yeah.
Except for the surface of that robot. It's been through a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see a little bit more later in the video, but oh yeah, here's a weird new change. There were already unblockable attacks in the original remake, but they added an extra feature so that you actually know what attacks are unblockable now. And they added a new tutorial pop-up for it too.
Handy, yeah.
Yeah. that little warning symbol means it's unblockable. This is really handy to have now. This is a nice improvement because this also lets you know what attacks can actually be countered with Cloud's counter stance ability. Sometimes there's a little bit of guesswork as to what did and didn't work with that. Here's the other big change. When the Scorpion Sentinel charges up his big tail laser now, it actually blows up both chunks of debris.
Yeah.
And if you're not expecting that's coming, you will not roll into the other piece of cover quick enough, and you will get like one-shotted by that laser.
Yeah.
It's strong enough to kill these guys almost outright from full health. Here's a new mechanic. I tried to show it out during the Sephiroth boss fight, but I just never got Barrett's limit break to pop. So I gave Barrett the refocus materia that we've seen before. It converts your 2 gauges into 3 gauges.
Yeah.
So when Barrett uses refocus, Barrett has a couple different abilities throughout the entire game that could use 2 gauges to get more powerful. Now they can use 3 gauges, and they actually get even more powerful.
This is like focused is your shot, okay?
Extremely focused. This is like a pretty secret mechanic that it wasn't until like near the end of my hard mode playthrough earlier last year, where I was like, wait, does 3-bar actually become more powerful? And it totally does.
Most maximum fury.
I love it. And like point blank, really strong too. It's still not quite as strong as if you just zap this guy with a really high level like thunder spell, but if Barrett had like the lightning materia linked up to elemental on his weapon instead, it would probably be doing a ton of damage.
Heads up! Tail laser!
I see it.
Then take cover already!
Cloud did not take good enough cover. He got his ass zapped.
Oh no!
111 HP left from full health.
He got his zap ass. Oh no.
Using Barrett's lifesaver ability in hard mode is a little more dangerous now because your other party members can take so much damage that his health will just get drained away real quick. So you got to be a little more careful with when you actually use that.
Barrett helps those that
ability.
help themselves. That's what I've always heard.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it, but throughout this whole playthrough, I basically always had Barrett with the Shiva summon. I think that actually is probably the summon best for him because, like, when you scan her, it says that she was like a goddess that saved the planet thousands of years ago by patching up its wounds with ice. I'm sure Barrett's into that.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe Marlene needs a new mommy.
Yeah. A very big mom.
Very big mommy.
Tall. Also, one of the other things you have to worry about with hard mode is that because you can't use items, you can't use Phoenix Downs.
Oh, yeah.
If nobody in your party has the revival materia, you can't revive your party members if they die in battle.
So that's why characters die in cutscenes. Cutscenes are hard mode.
Oh god, yeah.
There you go.
Real life is hard mode. So yeah, throughout all of hard mode, basically everybody in the party, no matter if they're a magic user or not, they all of them have revival materia on them. Because it really sucks if you only...
robot is being controlled by a cat walking across a keyboard.
Yeah.
We've lost all cohesion.
It's the Scorpion Sentinels, maybe the Shinra robot loses its temper the most. Because it just goes apeshit. Its legs are a lot harder to destroy now. And the other difference in this boss fight is, like in the original fight in the final phase, it turns on its auto repair unit, but its repair unit activates way more frequently and it heals way more of its health. So if it's actually possible for it to out-heal what damage you're dealing it. Like every time it pops the healing unit, it gains like... Yeah, almost like 1,700 HP.
Yeah.
And it just did it twice in a row. Like, it just gained 3,000 health back, basically.
Down goes another. Are you in for it now?
Look at it just wiggle. Just wiggling.
You ain't getting out of
Some people watching this video may have noticed this happening, but I did somehow trigger a bug I've never seen before where whatever party member you weren't controlling just kind of sat there and didn't do anything.
Hey,
it was like for the final phase of this
money,
fight.
Okay? He's just here for the money.
So yeah, on the right there, you can see we just got another sharpshooter's companion book for Barrett for beating that boss. And every single boss, every single like mini boss or unique enemy you fight in a side quest, they all drop skill books now.
shit, the bomb!
20 minutes until detonation.
So yeah, it was really shocking to start playing this last week, and it was 60 frames per second because everything almost felt sped up until I got used to it. It was like too smooth almost. But yeah, there's some big graphical improvements. All this fog wasn't in the original.
And as we know, fog makes everything better.
Yeah.
I learned this from somebody who manages a concert venue. Fog makes everything better.
We need to get out of this place.
Yeah, a lot of the areas, like any part of the game that has a lot of destruction and debris, there's a lot of fog and dust kicked up now that wasn't there before. It's a lot of the lights in Remake are actual true light sources now that actually affect the environment around them instead of just being a light that doesn't actually cast light.
Just a bright collection of pixels, not a light source.
Yeah. Yeah. And because of the volumetric...
Is this?
Ugh. But yeah, like now that there's fog and light actually permeates and goes through fog, stuff like this gets a little bit more ambiance to it. Wow. It's a lot of little improvements like that, but the areas I've gone through so far seem pretty nice. Also, the train graveyard is hella foggy now. You can't even see in front of you, it's so foggy.
Honestly, the fog in that example hallway we were going through is really nice in that moment because it, like, you can't even see Avalanche. You're not in Avalanche. You are isolated.
Aha. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's story fog right there.
But yeah, like once you're fighting a lot of Shinra guards at once, this gets a lot more dangerous because the bullets do a lot more damage now. It's not just chip damage, so even when you're blocking, they're gonna drain your health away a decent amount. Bullets make you flinch a lot more, so if you're not blocking, you will get stun locked by one guy and then another guy, and yeah. This time I've got fire set up to magnify and HP absorb, so I'm healing myself a lot just by blowing these guys up. But yeah, like going crazy with attack spells is not as advised now just because it's a lot harder to get your MP back quickly. So like here, I cast 2 Firagas in a row, and that's only because I know this is the final fight of the chapter and I'm safe to do that. This also makes it so that, like, if you are going up against enemies where you need to do magic damage against them, certain characters' abilities, like Cloud's Blade Burst or Tifa's Chi Trap, which are magic-based attacks, those get a lot more useful, too, because it's like a free source of magic damage.
Yeah.
I know that.
So, other little changes. Probably the area that was affected the most graphically was the slums and the Sector 5 slums as well later on in the game, because they just had a lot of textures that just could not load in all the way ever.
As we noted. In detail, regularly, often, you might say.
All the time. Everyone brings it. It's a big hang up for a lot of people. All those are fixed. They look fine now. You can Cloud can no longer run so fast that the textures don't appear.
When you say for a lot of people, you mean you. Like, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah. Also, they didn't. I thought they were just gonna make like the skyboxes higher res, but they actually changed them. Like, they added even more like kit bash elements onto a bunch of bits that were previously just smooth surfaces. Pizza. I can finally zoom in on the pizza sign. Eggs and chips.
Eggs and chips.
I still want to see.
And Tifa just kind of looking at you, take out your camera, like, what are you doing?
The compression of this video fucks it up a little bit, but you can actually read the menu now, and it just looks like a Denny's.
Okay.
I think Seventh Heaven is just a Denny's. Although they have a dinner that's just called potato.
Mmm.
What is a potato dinner?
I don't know, but it sounds Irish.
Yeah. One sandwich dinner, please.
I would like your dinner sandwich, please. We serve hot, we serve cold, we serve dinner. What do you want?
Yes, hello. I would love one hot. I had never noticed this picture frame. I was hoping that was like something interesting. It's not, sadly. I was hoping that was some fun new thing they put in. But there's also like some other. I never noticed the live, laugh, love shit in the corner over here. The welcome to our hometown, and also the we like to chill at a cafe.
That's what you expect to see at a place that says "Have a nice day" on the big sign in front.
Yeah, and it was already posted on Twitter. Everybody already went crazy. Even the official fucking Final Fantasy Twitter tweeted this shit out because they knew.
And again,
everyone
by
knows.
everybody, you mean you. You're everybody. You're a lot of people.
That tweet has thousands of retweets on it now. The door looks fine. It's fine. It's a wooden door now. It was always a wooden door. It just didn't load. That's it. Hooray.
And this is why people. This is why the PlayStation 5 is so hard to keep in stock. People want this door to have its texture, and they know this is the way that makes that happen.
Yeah, there's me taking a screenshot for Twitter. Yeah, anything that looked weird in the original, it looks fine now. It's all good. Now I can no longer look at textures except to just appreciate them.
Everything that seemed weird is fine. They high five on the first try now. Everything's
Yay!
fixed.
Hooray! So yeah, there'll be a few more episodes checking out some different hard mode boss fights and some other hard mode changes before we get to the new hard mode fights and also the story DLC. Hooray!